ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. The ball on the tee, we're set for football, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Pretty good looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Montgomery. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Play action here with Dalton. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this one is incomplete. So, Charles, we have reached the end here of a long season, Week 18, which we don't say very often, although this is not the first Week 18 that the NFL has ever seen.
Not at all, and Brandon, some of the people might be a little bit too young to remember, but back in 1993, the league experimented with giving teams 2 open weeks for the year. And we also saw Week 18 when the league was on pause for a few weeks in 2001 following the attacks on September 11th.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Here's Dalton. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 31. Now a give running right is Montgomery. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 26-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Running left, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Play action now. Dalton. Eluding the pressure right. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears! Allen Robinson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Play action now. Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Mond. He's going to get this one down to Cook. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 18 yards the gain for number 18. Kind of an odd schedule this year. These two teams getting their 2 games in very late in the season. Their first meeting just a few weeks ago, back in Week 15. This, the second meeting between these two division rivals. You might recall they met earlier in the year. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. Anything to make of this or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a 3rd.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at their 48-yard line.
Dalton off play action. On the move to his left. And incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Dalton. Dancing to his left. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Cook. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Now Mon. It's complete to Snead. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Mon looks to throw. And that's taken in. It's B.C. Johnson. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Makes it 3rd and
9. Mon going to throw it. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Well, all Nichols there on the stop. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
7. Vikings, nothing.
Third down from the gun, it's Mon. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw. Because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football. Because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mon. And his throw is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Mon. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Breaks through the contact. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Bears take over.
Vikings 48-yard line.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a run with Montgomery. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Throwing, Dalton. And firing a deep ball for Kmet. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Taking it about the 16. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Left side, Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 38, Mon. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Mon. Brought in left side by Snead. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. They'll run on first down. It's Montgomery, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 42-yard line.
A give to Montgomery out of the gun. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Play fake. Here's Dalton. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Dalton. That's complete to Mooney. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Passing, it's Dalton. Escaping the pressure, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Andy Dalton, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Santos with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. Mond's throw complete there to Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
At the 38-yard line.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 42-yard line.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Mond's throw there taken in by Smith. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Dalton sets up play action. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Dalton now to pass. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Looking to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here.
It's a gain of 16.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On 1st down, here's Mon. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
They'll look to throw again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had 1 pick. Could have been his 2nd, but instead it's 4th down. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. Here's Mon. They're going for it. Toward the sideline, it's complete, an athletic grab, but still well short of the 1st. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th, and the Bears will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
And the Bears first down.
1st and 10 for Dalton. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it. It helped pop that ball free.
The final act of the first half, Dalton. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a little fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit. Get in their grill. And then send them back out.
Mon going to throw it. He finds his man Johnson. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
44, Mike, 44.
Now Mon. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game. And there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Play action here with Dalton. And that is incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a give running left with Montgomery. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Third down from the gun. Dalton under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return on this one as that kick's out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line.
Their own 31-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
At the 40-yard line.
Second and 2.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
SOS.
Again, it's Cook. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Mon now off of play action. Snead's got it. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Mon looks to throw. His throw incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Mon. This throw nearly intercepted. Oh, the big D lineman almost had it. But 3rd down coming up.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And this one is incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for them, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Dalton off play action. And this will be caught by Mooney. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. On first down, it's Montgomery. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Well, for an inside linebacker, I think you'd agree when I say that he is fast to the football, and he proved that thesis correct on that last play. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the Bears first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll run on first down. It's Montgomery, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 12, Dalton letting one go deep for the end zone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
58 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. On 1st and 10, here's Mon. Brought in left side by Snead. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
On first down, Cook. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here. Mon. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
From the 24, Mon under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Quinn leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be set. Touchdown, Vikings! Irv Smith Jr., his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you, and make sure they touch it.
Now on 2nd and 13. Dalton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
That's complete to Mooney. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. They'll try the left side. Montgomery. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. The 71 yards on the ground for him so far. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Mon to the air on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Mond. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Mond looks to throw on 1st down. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mond. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Now left side on the swing pass. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and take it. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They will look to flush the memory of that pick six as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the fourth quarter. Getting down to the good stuff. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Second and 7. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Running for it, Montgomery. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Add that one to the good run tally right there. He's been strong throughout this game, and there's no reason to suggest he's going to slow down in the fourth quarter at all. And that's exactly what they need him to do. Keep churning out first downs.
They'll run on first down. It's Montgomery, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Montgomery. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. is Dalton. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. On first down, it's Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. To Montgomery on second down. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So on the big tight end, hold it.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Now Dalton. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. So now Dalton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's fourth down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Montgomery, a first down and then some. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On the carry, it's Montgomery. A gain of 3, second down. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
On second down, Williams. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 34. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. They run it again with Williams. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one 28 yards on the ground. Well, you hate that for him. He gets so close on the big run, but has him in excellent position.
And I know there's plenty of competitive spirit on the defensive side of the ball, but part of me wonders if they would have just preferred him to go ahead and take it into the end zone rather than deal with him again on the likely carry on this down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Williams. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Wow, Charles, that doesn't just take points off the board. That takes a win off the board.
So now you have to regroup because you've gone from celebrating what you think is a win to trying to figure out how to do it again and make it a win.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. He showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all tied. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. And now 4th down. What do you do?
And after being stuffed on that play, it puts a little doubt in the minds of a head coach who has the football, I'm sure. Do we go for it here? Do we take the 3 points and continue to play on? Because you know he wants to get in the end zone. That ends the game. But I've been on the defensive side before. They've got to be energized right now and almost challenging them to go for it because they've got to be confident.
So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruin.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall